The following is an ESG on-location video.
Welcome to Veritas Vision. In fact, this is the second vision since Veritas extricated itself from Symantec. Veritas is famous for net backup, and I'm sure that side of the business, from everything we've heard here, will continue to grow and be successful. But a lot of the conference here, a lot of the emphasis has been about how Veritas is going to shift its focus. Actually, not so much shift, more expand, and doubling the irony, expanding back to something that it's always had a capability to do, which is to be also a storage and an SDS company. So that's the general sense of what's going on here. But to get a little more specific, Edwin, come and join me on these lovely Veritas cushions and tell me some of the key things, takeaways you've got from the conference.
I think one of the amazing things that I've seen from this conference is that it's a transformation of the company, and I think you started to see that last year as they separated from Symantec, and you want them to kind of get beyond net backup and backup exec, but it's really about an understanding. They see the need to be multi-cloud, they see the need to be hyperscale, they see the need to really think about the data itself and how people use the data and access the data, that it's not just becoming a purveyor or a guardian of the data and making it available, but to know where it is, to aggregate it together, so that you don't just have access to multi-cloud, but I bring everything together
from multi-cloud. They talked a lot about, you said purveyor or aggregator. Yeah. I mean, they certainly also talked about using that data.
No, absolutely, and then going and being able to understand and get information from that. Talked about machine learning and talked about AI. So it's not just making sure the data is there or making sure the data is available. Kind of like of an analogy, before they were really kind of like movers. They wanted to make sure they had every box counted. They wanted to make sure the boxes were in the right room. They never looked inside the box or cataloged which box went where. Now they're understanding, hey, these boxes went here. I know what's on these boxes. I can tell you how to get at these boxes. I can tell you if the room is full. I can tell you the room is a little bit short. I can tell you which room is the most important that you need to protect or make sure that it's fine. That's how they're seeing data. It's a transformation of how they see and are offering that data, that it's not just a very kind of external view of it, so to speak. And that really is a great transformation, and it's going to help them kind of address digital transformation.
And I talked in my brief intro about sort of back to the future, because in many respects they're finding tools they had in their toolbox for many years. Now, I'm not saying they're exactly the same tools, but the essence is there. What do you think of this expansion of their focus? I'll say back to include regular storage.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think they realize that they've really got to put their tentacles everywhere, and that if they have access to virtualized storage, and then cloud storage, then local storage, that the ability to understand and see all of that is going to be a differentiator for them. And that a lot of their competition potentially focuses on very specific areas, and they've got a broad enough set of portfolios and now some new agility in terms of how quickly they develop products and how fast they can move can be that differentiator for them and really spark a big change for Veritas.
So I think Edwin raised some great points about the generic capabilities, the expanded abilities that Veritas brings to bear. I think obviously we're not talking about semantic anymore, but I think semantics are very important here. So from my particular emphasis, as this company attempts to embrace data rather than just data protection, recovery, backup, and so on and so forth, I think the semantics are very important. And what's interesting is as we move, and I'm picking my words very carefully, from a world where storage was about storage systems to a world where storage is going to be about hardware on the one side and software on the other, there is clearly a great opportunity for Veritas to occupy a significant role on that software side of the business.